Hey bitches, this is Elle with Roselle's Creations and welcome back to my channel. This week we are going to learn how to lay down them chunky glitters. Everything will be listed below in the description box, but let's get into this. We don't lollygag, we get into it. So what you see me doing is prepping all three 30-ounce skinnies with pop of color paint. I got these from CC DIY. We went ahead and did 2 black bases and a white base. We are prepping these 3 for the July challenge tumbler in my Facebook group. And yes, it's pretty quick, but pretty simple. I am using Crystal glitter glue, a very generous amount, and I go in with my first coat of chunky. Once I get my first coat on, I am going to grab some parchment paper, wax paper, and as you can see right there, I rolled it. And I smashed it, but I didn't rub it, I tapped it. We're going to see this again, but you don't want your glue and glitter to smear, so you have to be gentle when you're rolling. Now I am drying it with my heat gun, going back in with the Crystal glitter glue, applying a generous amount. We're doing the second coat of glitter, and we are going to do the same thing. Once we get this chunky laid all over, we are going to grab our parchment paper, and we're going to gently roll. This way, the glitter is flat. So many people have a problem with laying it flat, so they stay scared, they don't use it, or they have to use several coats of epoxy. This way is guaranteed for a smooth application of your epoxy. So here we are going in again with the Crystal glitter glue. All the chunky glitters that I am using in this video is from TellyBox Crafts. This one is my favorite. It's called Rock On. And what you see me doing is tapping off the excess, getting my glitter cleaned up. We're going to grab this parchment paper and we're going to roll. Lay it down, place your tumbler, wrap it, and start pressing and roll. Pressing and roll. This will get your chunky glitter flat as shit, guys. Flat. Of course, I'm doing this all live, but I wanted to keep the parts and not edit this up too good. So I have time to explain because, like I said, I recorded this in time lapse. So there's that. But we dried to speed up the process so we can go directly in with our second coat of glitter glue and our chunky glitter. A lot of people use epoxy method, which I will on the next tumbler. I taught myself how to do this with Mod Podge and glitter glue. A lot of people don't like using epoxy, so you can use adhesives. Now that the second coat's done, let's wrap it. We are going to wrap that parchment paper and we are going to tap. I'm not rubbing, I am tapping. This gets that glitter laid down super flat. Super flat. Now I'm going to stick both of these to the side and we are going to go in doing the epoxy method. So I use DIY epoxy Speedy Petey. I mixed up 5 mLs of Speedy Petey, and we're only going to use about 1 to 2 mLs to cover this tumbler. You do not want to put the whole 5 mLs because it will drown out your glitter, make it wet. So to get that 1 to 2 mLs to spread, I heat up my tumbler with my heat gun. I apply 1 to 2 mLs, and I spread that all over the tumbler. I'm telling you bitches, you don't want that shit soppy wet. You don't want to use all that epoxy. It will make your glitter look gross. With the epoxy method, you only need 1 coat. So that does, get rid of having to do 2 coats. But you do not want a lot of epoxy. 1 to 2 mLs, good to go. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tap off that excess. We're going to roll and pat, roll and pat, roll and pat. Get that chunky laying flat. Now I'm going to put all 3 of them on my turner and let them dry. Look how flat these bitches are. Just look how flat. I let the glitter glue dry for about 3 hours. I let the epoxy cure for about an hour and a half. They come out, beautiful. After they are dry, I get my chip brush and I dry brush the hell out of them. Then we go in with our 2 very thin coats of epoxy. So I put 30 mLs of Speedy Petey on each tumbler. It may not look like it's enough, but that's okay. Because once that is dry and cured, you're going to mix up another 30 mLs of epoxy for your second coat, and they will be smooth, non-lumpy, And just look, that's it. 2 rounds of epoxy. It took me about 4 hours, and they all came out smooth as shit. Easy peasy. I want to see more chunkies. So many are intimidated, and I don't know why. Because once you get it, it is freaking easy peasy, and the sparkle factor in these glitters are freaking phenomenal. So thanks for watching, bitches. Please like, subscribe, and share. Let's get it.